who am I? You know, who am I to the people? You know, I have a kid now, like I said before. Honestly, it's just that fatherhood time. You know, I haven't yet spent much more time with my son as I would want to. And he'll understand that as he gets older. If I can see, like, how can I change and how can I give my son more knowledge rather than luxury things, then I'm going to do that. My father, though, is the one that really, he knows me best. He's seen me at my worst, he's seen me at my best, you know, and he's going to be the one that definitely is going to tell me the things that I really need to focus on how can I beat this guy. I trust him with my life.
In the quiet before the noise, this fight begins long before the bell. Not in a ring, not under lights, but in the spaces where belief is tested and habits are stripped bare. Two fighters, two rhythms, moving toward the same night from opposite directions.
And I just want everyone to see that, you know, my father didn't become trainer of the year just by luck. You know, in 2020, you know, we beat the most decorated fighter pound for pound during that time, Vasily Lomachenko. That was from him. You know, he told me how the game plan had to go.
And he'll push him and he'll freaking just try dogging it. But he's trained for that. He's trained to keep on doing that every round. So when he spars, I tell him, okay, you can box. Yeah. You can box, but what's gonna happen when you can't box no more? You get tired of it and you feel that guy's weight. Yeah.
Touch your body, go on top, and then you go on top. Good. Oh, that head.
Concentrate.
January 31st at Madison Square Garden. Two of boxing's best are finally fighting each other. No more waiting, no more excuses. Shakur Stevenson versus Teofimo Lopez is happening. This fight has been years in the making. Both fighters grew up in the boxing world together. They watched each other win as amateurs. Now they're both champions, and only one can prove he's the best. Teofimo Lopez is the current champion at 140 pounds. He holds the WBO belt. His record is 22 wins and just 1 loss. He's knocked out 13 opponents. Teofimo is known for his power and his confidence. He beat Vasily Lomachenko when everyone thought he would lose. He beat Josh Taylor to win his current belt. Teofimo fights best when people doubt him. Shakur is undefeated. He has 24 wins and 0 losses. He's won world titles in 3 different weight classes already. Now, he wants to win a 4th title by beating Teofimo. Shakur is moving up from 135 pounds to 140 pounds for this fight. He's known for his defense and his boxing skills. He makes opponents miss and looks easy doing it. The training for this fight shows how different these two fighters are. Teofimo trains with his father. His dad has been with him since the beginning. Teofimo said,
My father, though, is the one that really, he knows me best. He's seen me at my worst, he's seen me at my best, you know, and he's going to be the one that definitely is going to tell me the things that I really need to focus on how can I beat this guy. I trust him with my life.
Teofimo's father pushed him hard when he was young. Teofimo remembers training with professional fighters when he was only 12 or 13 years old. He said,
My father put me in with the top guys, professional fighters at like 12, 13 years old. You know, and that was something that I really enjoyed the most because it was hard. I would cry, I would run away, I didn't like it. And I would tell him like, you know, this is not for me, I want to quit. And he would just, nope, no, you could do this.
But his father never let him quit. Sometimes his father would say, okay, quit. Then Teofimo would stop for a day or two and beg to go back to the gym. Now Teofimo is preparing differently than before. He's learning patience. Against a fighter like Shakur, you can't just swing for the fences. You have to be smart. Teofimo's camp is about setting traps and staying focused. His father keeps telling him to go to the body when Shakur comes close. When he comes here, go to the body, his father says over and over in training.
Your whole body in this. You know, a lot of people don't understand, even to this day, how much we have to really do, how much we beat up our body.
So when he comes here, you go to the body. When he comes here, go to the body.
Teofimo also got help from boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. He knows he doesn't have all the answers. He said, at certain points in your career, you realize you don't know everything. Working with Roy Jones is about learning timing and tricks that don't show up on highlight videos. Shakur trains completely different. He's calm and quiet in the gym. His training partner Joe Way Tucker said Shakur is locked in like never before. Everything Shakur does has a purpose. He doesn't waste energy. He's preparing for a 12-round chess match, not a brawl. Shakur went to Colorado Springs to train. That's where the altitude is high and the air is thin. It's the same place Terrence Crawford trains. The thin air makes your lungs work harder. It makes you stronger for the later rounds. Shakur said,
I feel great. Sprints kind of be getting me right, get my conditioning right. Sometimes in a fight could turn into a sprint.
he's doing sprint training, so he has a second wind and a third wind when Teofimo gets tired. Shakur isn't trying to knock Teofimo out. He's trying to control every second of the fight. Take away options, make Teofimo miss, win rounds quietly. That's Shakur's style. He trains like someone who expects problems, not surprises. The experts are split on this fight. Shane Mosley, the former champion, calls this a true 50-50 fight. He said the first round will be interesting. By round 2 or 3, one fighter will start taking over. Shane reminded everyone that Teofimo can actually box when he wants to. He's not just a power puncher. Shane also mentioned the weight jump. Shakur is moving up. Will he be slower with more weight? Nobody knows yet. Wade Plemon talked about how boxing is finally doing things right. These are two elite fighters in their prime. They're not waiting 5 years. They're not making excuses. They sign the contract when it matters. Wade said both fighters believe they can't lose. That's what makes this dangerous. When two fighters both think they're unbeatable, something has to give. Lonnie B worked with both fighters. He said Teofimo hits like a bomb. Once Teofimo touches you and feels confident, he becomes almost impossible to stop. He starts setting traps and getting brave. Lonnie said,
if his confidence is here, you can almost kiss the fight goodbye. So Shakur has to rip his confidence from the second the fight starts and keep it that way, because if not...
There we go. He got to keep that gas tank on.
Buddy McGirt, another legendary trainer, said Shakur is phenomenal. He compared Shakur to Roy Jones Jr., so good that people say he hasn't fought anybody. But that's because Shakur makes top fighters look ordinary. Buddy's advice for Teofimo?
You gotta be double smart. You can't go in there and think you're gonna bully him. You can't think you're gonna go in there and palm him out. You gotta be extra smart.
Buddy McGirt picked Shakur to win. He said, Shakur is the best at that weight. No one's gonna beat him at that weight. Buddy explained, it's all about control. Shakur can take control whenever he wants. Teofimo is explosive and talented, but Shakur is on another level. The two fighters have history. They met in the amateurs back in 2011 and 2012. Teofimo remembers seeing Shakur in a white tank top and red trunks, beating up his opponent badly. They were both winning in their weight classes. Shakur won the finals. Teofimo came in second. They crossed paths again at the 2015 Golden Gloves. They even sparred a few rounds once. Shakur remembers it simply. He said, we sparred like 3 rounds. It was cool. From my memory, I feel like he can't beat me. He does a lot of things well, I think he's flashy, but it's just some basic stuff where I feel like he makes mistakes, and I think I'm going to capitalize on those mistakes. Teofimo remembers it differently. He says as the sparring went on, he started figuring out Shakur. He began finding success against Shakur's style. Two different memories of the same sparring session.
The press conference almost turned into a fight. The tension was real. Teofimo made some wild comments to get under Shakur's skin. Shakur said,
I think he's just a big attention seeker. He's gonna do anything to get attention on him, and I think it's gonna backfire come January 31st.
One comment really bothered Shakur. Teofimo called him slow. Shakur fired back, asking if he meant mentally or in the boxing ring. Teofimo clarified he meant in the ring. Shakur just said, okay, you're gonna see, I promise you. Teofimo's father also jumped in at the press conference. He questioned Shakur's resume. He said Shakur has never been on a stage this big. The exchange got heated, voices were raised, security had to step in to keep them separated. Both fighters are confident about their chances. Shakur said, Teofimo is a high-level fighter, but he's not on my level. I'm an elite-level fighter. Come January 31st, I'm gonna show it. He believes he'll break Teofimo mentally at some point in the fight. When Teofimo gets frustrated, that's when Shakur will attack. Teofimo isn't worried about Shakur's skills. He said,
just put him in front of me and I'll beat him. Not about the odds. It's about, I guess defining them. You define the odds. Everybody's against you, great. That's when you know you're doing great. I put a thing out there. It's like, if you want to be liked in this sport, be a good boxer. You want to be loved in the sport, be the best boxer. But if you want to be hated in this sport, including the odds, be the greatest boxer.
He believes when everyone is against you, that's when you know you're doing something right. Teofimo fights best as the underdog, and the odds makers have him as the underdog again. Eddie Hearn said Shakur is massively underrated. At 28 years old, Shakur is already a 3-division world champion. This fight could make him a 4-division champion. That's rare air. Hearn said,
quite remarkable, and Teofimo always rises to the occasion. Sometimes you see a little bit of a lackluster performance when he's not motivated, when there isn't kind of any legacy on the line. This is different. This is a sold-out Madison Square Garden between two of the elite fighters of our generation. And the best thing about this fight is we see...
The fight is at Madison Square Garden in New York. Teofimo is from Brooklyn. Shakur is from Newark, New Jersey. Both fighters are basically at home. Teofimo said, Brooklyn, baby, Brooklyn all the way. All my people go, they go real hard for me. The crowd will be loud and split. This isn't just about belts, it's about legacy. Shakur said this is the fight that will put him in the top 5 pound for pound. It will establish that he's one of the 4 kings of his era. But it depends on how he wins. A close decision won't do as much as a dominant performance. For Teofimo, this is about proving he belongs at the very top. He's already beaten elite fighters, but Shakur is undefeated. Beating an undefeated fighter who everyone respects would cement Teofimo's place in boxing history. Tim Bradley broke down the styles. He said footwork will decide this fight. Teofimo pauses slightly before he explodes with his punches. He likes to jump in with power. Shakur is a master at controlling distance. When Teofimo steps in, Shakur steps back. When Teofimo reaches, Shakur is already gone. Bradley said Teofimo likes to jab to the body first to find his range, but Shakur's movement makes it hard to land anything clean. Ryan Garcia picked Shakur to win. He's even betting money on it. Ryan said Shakur's speed, defense, and ring intelligence are too much for Teofimo. If Shakur sticks to his game plan, Ryan sees him winning clearly. Teofimo isn't chasing a knockout. He knows that's not how you win fights at this level. He said, the Bible of boxing really is that if you look for the knockout, you won't get it. His plan is to set a strong pace early, pressure Shakur, make him uncomfortable. He doesn't think Shakur can handle 12 rounds at 140 pounds. This is Shakur's first fight at this weight. Shakur refuses to look past Teofimo. He was asked about fighting next, maybe Conor Benn. Shakur said he can't think about that. I know what I'm dealing with. I've known Teofimo since a kid. I know that he's tough, he's strong, he's fast, his boxing IQ is very high. This fight will answer real questions. Can discipline beat chaos? Can Shakur's technical skill handle Teofimo's power and explosiveness? Can Teofimo crack Shakur's defense? Will the weight change affect Shakur's speed? Both fighters are locked in. Both believe they'll win. Only one can be right.